Just getting started and want to turn your spare change into a wealth building machine? Do you know how you could first grow your portfolio by 100%, then by 50%, then 33%, and so on? Sounds insane, right? Get ready because I'm going to lay out 5 simple steps that will blow your mind and turbocharge your portfolio. You won't believe how easy and powerful these steps are. Ready to find out? Let's dive in. Step 1, save consistently. Picture this. You're just getting started with a $0 portfolio. You earn $1,000 in your paycheck and save $100. Next week, you do it again. Your savings just doubled from $100 to $200. Another paycheck, another $100, and now it's $300, growing your portfolio by 50%. This explosive growth won't last forever, but early on, saving money is your secret weapon to turbocharge your portfolio while you take the time to learn how to invest your funds. Even with a larger portfolio of $100,000, consistently saving $100 every week can boost your growth by 5.2% after a year. For beginners, there's virtually no other surefire way to grow a portfolio at this rate with such certainty.
Easy way, best way.
Sometimes it can seem hard to find the money to save, and I've learned some tricks that have helped me with this over the years. Do you go out to eat all the time? Try planning this out more. By thinking it through and maybe instead of eating out multiple times a week, just limiting it to 1 or 2 times a month, this alone can add up to many hundreds of dollars of savings per month, which adds up to thousands of dollars per year. Let's say you go to the grocery store 3 times a week. By just buying things like raw onions instead of pre-chopped onions, you can end up saving $1 or so per item. Buy scratch items instead of boxed items. By doing this, you might be able to cut $15 to $20 of costs every time you go to the grocery store. When you multiply that out by 3 times a week, this alone can add up to almost $3,000 a year in after-tax grocery expense. Before tax, this is like giving yourself a huge raise. Do you buy a lot of high-dollar items when you shop? Think about maybe cutting back on some of those and treating them more like special occasion purchases. Every change you make like this can instantly give you thousands of more dollars to exponentially pay off your debt and grow your capital base. Just remember, I'm not a financial advisor. While you're learning the ropes of investing, do yourself a massive favor. Get a financial advisor and put a plan together. After you've got a plan, start setting aside a chunk of money every paycheck to grow your nest egg. Step 2, build an emergency fund. Here's a rule that I swear by. Always keep a bare minimum of 3 months' expenses in cash for those unforeseen emergencies. The car breaks down, the economy tanks, you lose your job. You'll have something to fall back on while you figure things out. Remember that saying, when the shit hits the fan? It's not about if, it's about when. I just went through this here in Texas near Houston with Hurricane Beryl. My back patio roof got ripped off and my yard got trashed. We lost electricity for 2 days. Some people we know not only lost their power, but also had no running water. I talked to a guy at the hardware store today who told me he lived a little further south. He has no generator and he is not expected to have power for 3 to 4 weeks. Always assume an investment could face a no running water scenario. Always assume that stuff might be worse than you expect in a downturn.
This is some bad shit here.
Always assume that earnings season might be worse than you expect. This is why a margin of safety is important, and this is why doing your homework is crucial. Eventually, companies will all face some variation of the no running water scenario. Some companies can make it through this, and some can't. Don't get caught unprepared. Today is just about taking the best first step possible. Have a plan and know how that plan can get twisted and chewed up. I will talk all about this and more in future videos, including how to find companies best positioned to weather these storms. That's why if you want to learn the best info about growing your portfolio, be sure to hit the subscribe button right now. Step 3, prioritize debt repayment. If I wanted to save $100 from each paycheck, but also had $1,000 in credit card debt racking up interest, I'd throw that $100 straight at the credit card every month. Eliminate that debt before saving anything. Once those credit card interest payments hit 0, I'd start looking to grow my nest egg. But what if I had $1,000 in credit card debt and no emergency fund? That's trickier. Personally, I try to build up my emergency fund a bit first. Remember though, I'm no financial advisor. Everyone's situation is different, and these are exactly the types of questions to bring to your own licensed financial advisor. Step 4, understand compound interest. Let's dive into interest payments. There's a famous saying attributed to Albert Einstein. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. Think about saving and investing as getting started in the game of capitalism. A prime example of winning at this game is the credit card industry. The average APR, or annual percentage rate in the US, is around 22.6%, which with daily compounding translates to an effective annual rate of about 25.35%. This means for every $1,000 you have tied up in credit card payments, you're handing over about $254 per year to the card companies. That's a brutal minus 25% rate of return on the money you've already spent. Don't be on the losing side. Understand the power of compound interest and make it work for you. Step 5, start investing wisely. Now that we've covered these topics, let's go to the fun part, the actual investing. The first thing you've got to do is find a good stockbroker. There are plenty out there and many will fit the bill. If I were starting again, I'd look for a broker with no fees to buy and sell stocks and ETFs, and one that can handle recurring investments. This way, you can put your portfolio on autopilot to invest funds from every paycheck. It's an added plus if they don't have minimum requirements. This means even if you only have $10 to invest, they'll let you create an account. Now, the big question, where to invest your money? There are countless answers depending on who you ask and what they're trying to sell you. But remember this above all, always be skeptical of advice. Do your research, do your homework on everything. If someone promises huge returns with little effort, you can take that and throw it in the garbage. In life, with all else being equal, above average opportunity usually comes to those willing to put in the work that goes above and beyond what the other average person is doing. Investing is no exception. Exceptional returns require exceptional knowledge, skill, and effort. All of these take time and hard work to achieve. The way you learn in investing is first by studying and then by doing. When I first got started, I put my money into an S&P 500 fund. My goal was to grow my portfolio primarily by saving money while reading as many books as possible to learn how to pick individual stocks. I knew that whatever money I earned in the first year would pale in comparison to what I could save, so I focused on learning as much as possible while achieving an average market return through the S&P. There are many S&P funds out there, like SPY, VOO, and IVV. Different brokers offer their own versions as well. One crucial thing to look at is the expense ratio, the cost of fund management and overhead. Think of it like a tiny interest payment that eats away at your nest egg. For instance, a 1% expense ratio means 1% of your portfolio is taken every single year. Over 30 years, this compounds, siphoning off about 26% of your net worth. Factor in inflation, averaging about 3.8% per year over the last 50 years, and you realize how aggressive you need to be in saving to overcome these costs. Again, this is the compound interest wonder of the world, so keep those fees to a minimum. With all that said, this is a great first step. The goal is for your capital to start coming in faster than it's going out. You can earn a big salary, but if you spend it all, you're not accumulating anything. Get a financial advisor and set up a budget to keep track of these flows. Identify where your money is leaking out of the bucket, cut it off, and maximize your savings. Once you have this foundation, you can move on to mastering the intricacies of navigating the markets. So, take action now. Start saving, start learning, and start investing. The journey won't always be easy, but with discipline, knowledge, and the right strategy, you can build a portfolio that works for you and grows over time. Remember, you only live once. There's no redo. So make your money work for you. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for more in-depth tips on picking stocks and growing your portfolio.